Hey everyone, couple things before we get started. I know I've been gone, I'll probably talk about it eventually, but basically, I've just been working on stuff to do with my PC and college work. This video is not having Saints Row gameplay, that's due to me not having Saints Row set up yet. So I've put some CSGO gameplay in the background, it is purely just background gameplay. I don't play the game, so don't judge me too much for my skill. I do play the game, but I haven't played it in a while because I only just got my PC. Also, the quality of the video might not be great, like gameplay-wise as well. Again, because I've just got my PC, I'm setting everything up, and I'm still in the process, okay? So if this video feels a little thrown together, strung together, that's why. Same with mic quality, I'm still just getting everything set up so I can make the best content possible, but that's taking time, and obviously, I've got to just get everything ready for you guys so you can enjoy the content when it does eventually come out. So if this video does seem a little put together, thrown together, strung together, and the quality is not up to a standard you are too happy with, especially compared to my last video, please just understand that I'm just in the process of getting everything set up to make the best content possible. Anyway, enjoy the video. So a little while ago, I made a community post talking about answering some concerns from the community. I wanted to kind of get to the root of people's worries and do my best to ease them, reassure them, and give my thoughts on their biggest concerns and issues, really. And that's what this video is. It's going to be a video where I completely, as a fan, discuss your guys' concerns in the most respectful and reasonable way possible. Now, there's a couple comments here that are just blind hate, but a lot of them, credit to you guys, are legitimate concerns where we're not just shitting on Volition. They're real concerns that I can at least try and help you out with. So, let's get into it. So the first one here from Snowy, hi Snowy, love you, you have a weird pizza taste though. Is the boss being a carbon copy of the OG boss? I don't think we have to worry about that. I think that if there's one thing this game has shown is that Saints Row isn't afraid to be different. And then when you look back at every Saints Row, I think the boss has been different in all of them, really. In the first one, he didn't talk. In the second one, he was kind of a sociopath. In the third one, he was kind of like the fun, heavy celebrity. And then in the fourth one, he's just like wacky as hell. So, I think that that's not really a concern for me, and I wouldn't be too concerned because with the characters being on the younger side, already we're going to be at a very different point in time, boss-wise, with, like, just the general setup, really. I mean, the boss we know, really, has always been, like, an adult, and these characters, while being adults, they're very young adults. And, I think that really does put us in a position where, the boss will be very unique from previous games. So I wouldn't worry about that too much, and, yeah, I know what you mean about, like, the boss just being a carbon copy, but I don't think that's something, I'm too worried about, sorry. I can't speak, I haven't done this in a while. So you also put here that you're a little worried about, why am I saying this like I'm a therapist, what the hell? You also said that you're worried about Santo Aliso, how does that make you feel? I'm kidding. But yeah, I understand what you mean about the NPCs not being there, because you were a little worried about that, I get that. That is something I noticed too. But I think, first of all, we're in alpha. They're doing a lot of bug fixes. There's bound to be stuff like that they have to correct and adjust. But also, I don't think that's something to worry about. Now, one thing I spotted that actually made me a little worried was when the guys were driving around, the NPCs would just dive out of the way of the car. If I can't mow down NPCs with my car, I'm going to be sad. So, Volition, just let me like hit people with cars. I imagine I will be able to anyway. But yeah, I get the whole unfinished look. I get that. I mean, there are some parts that I think they could have done in the original time frame anyway to make it better. I'm not too worried though. Realistically, they put all this effort into making a really good city, and the city does look amazing. I don't think they would just skip something as small as making the NPCs at least there. You know what I mean? Now, whether they'll be blank cutout NPCs or not, we don't know. I don't think they will, but I'm hoping at that point it's more just speculation now. But I wouldn't worry too much about the NPCs not being there, as they have spent a lot of time working on this game. It would kind of make no sense to not just add in a little slider to be like how many NPCs you want, you know what I mean? They've never had that problem really before, as well with Saints Row, if that's anything to go by their history. They've never had, like, empty streets. They've always just had sometimes lackluster streets, like as in boring NPCs. But I don't think the amount has ever been a problem, so I'm not too worried about that personally. So, Circus here says that as much as they hate to rag on it, the tone is a problem. Couldn't agree more. I don't know what this tone is fully, but I do think it's a bit of a 2.5, which you disagree with, and I can see why you disagree. It's a bit subjective at this point, but what I imagine they are doing with this, and I spoke about this on stream a little while ago, what I imagine they're doing with the whole tone aspect is they want to make it so that the gameplay and, you know, the side shit is very Saints Row 3, and this is what I'm hoping for, and this is what I think they're going to do. They're going to make the story more grounded and serious like 2 and 3 in between. So I think that when the Saints Row 2.5 thing comes into effect, we'll be in the story. I think we're going to have a grounded story that's not quite as wacky as 3, not quite as serious as 2, but somewhere in a bit of a middle ground, which I don't think is too big of a problem. And then I think that when it comes to doing stuff outside of the main story, that is where we're going to be getting the Saints Row 3.5 aspect. And I have no problem with that. If they keep the grounded stuff to the story, and then the wacky, crazy stuff to, you know, playing with your friends, or playing by yourself, trying to have a blast, that sounds amazing, and I look forward to it. As long as the story does follow that Saints Row 2.5, though, I think we have no real reason to, like, be concerned at all here. Drums here, DRNs. My commenter here has a problem saying that the draw distance is a bit of a problem. I saw this too in the Game Informer, and again, I imagine this is just an alpha bug where they are doing tests and want the game running as smooth as possible, so they've turned down all the settings for the Game Informer people to get their hands on. They don't want a game that looks very buggy frame rate wise at launch, so they probably put the draw distance quite low down so the game run fully smooth. I imagine it won't be a problem when the game's actually out, and when we have a more polished and finished product, draw distance, I imagine, shouldn't be too big of a problem. Now, whether this is going to be perfect or not, I don't know. Obviously, again, all of this is just my thoughts on it, but by the look of it, I imagine this is just an alpha thing. I think that when we get our hands on the game, we won't have to worry too much about it, you know what I mean? So, Third Street here has a comment saying that they're worried about the world not being immersive enough. I think you're on to the right point here, but I do disagree. What I've heard is this map is phenomenal. I've heard that on good authority from everyone who has played the map. The one thing I am yet to hear someone who has played the game complain about is the map. So do not worry about that. Will it be as good as Stillwater or San Francisco? Those are some of my favourite maps in gaming, and quite honestly, I don't need the map to be up to that standard for it to be a good map. But I do want it to be up to that standard. I can't say confidently that this map is going to blow us away out of the water. What I can say though is that everyone who has played it has said that. Everyone who has played this map has objectively gone, this map is really good. We like it, and this is a good point for Saints Row. So don't worry too much, okay? While I get it's a concern, and it's one that's fair enough to have, I wouldn't worry about it. To me, the map looks good, and it does remind me a lot of San Francisco, but with more diversity. So, let's just hope. I'm a little worried for map size, although the map doesn't look small by any standards. It looks bigger than Steelport, so I'm happy enough with that. But I just want to see the scale of the desert and stuff. But besides that, I have no worried about the map, and I do think that, well, I don't know if I'd say it's going to be immersive, but I think it'll still be fun and, you know, have lots of variety to it. And then I don't think we'll have to worry too much about it, if I'm being honest. I think that map is something we hopefully won't have to concern ourselves with. Cameron here says, I'm worried it's going to come out buggy, unfinished, unplayable mess. Well, look, that is a very fair worry to have, but think about it. Volition looked at it and said, instead of having a 4-month delay or a 3-month delay, they went with a 6-month. They gave themselves essentially an extra 9 months to work on the game from a, like, how do I put this? They were ready to release it in February, and that would have been the broken and buggy mess, but they gave themselves an extra 6 months. That's a lot of time to polish bugs out, and I wouldn't worry too much. While I can see it still being a bit of a concern here, just don't panic. I think that with them giving themselves 6 whole months to work on it, when they were going to release in February, remember, they were confident in the February release when they announced it. I don't think we have to worry too much about the buggy mess aspect anymore. Classico here, speaking out for the unspoken children of the internet. My biggest concern is Kevin won't be romanceable. Finally, someone says it. Like, goddamn, Volition, can I get a confirmation? The character Eli is not seen to be very attached to the style of the game. I think he is and he isn't. I think he's attached to the style of the game in a certain way, but I think he's pulling that style of the game away from what we all want it to be. I think he fits in, but he does just make the game seem off. I think without him, the style of the game is the exact same as if it's with him, but I don't think that he should be there. I think that it's just showing off that this game looks more kind of for younger people, and I have no problem with the game being for younger people, to be completely honest. I think anyone who does needs to kind of get a grip. Like, if it's for younger people, it's for younger people. As long as it can still appeal to the older people. Does it matter? No. But I think that he's really just showing off how, like, weird these characters are. I think without Eli, we have a good cast of characters, if I'm being 100% completely honest. Motion here says, bro, to be honest, unless it's complete ass, which I doubt it will be, I'm going to enjoy it regardless. Exactly my thoughts. Quite honestly, if this is the worst Saints Row that I've ever played, I'm still going to have as much fun as possible with it. And I am going to keep my mind open and just go into it, like, fully expecting a decent game. This game could be awful, quite frankly. I can't objectively sit here and go, this game's going to be the best thing I've ever played. But I'm going to give it a fair chance, and I'm going to do my best to kind of keep an open mind with it. Anyway, that's all from me. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoy. I know the video is kind of a bit of a mess. Obviously, I'm setting up stuff on my PC, so everything's kind of all over the place. But expect some more videos in the future. I'm not sure when. When I've got everything set up, though, will be the appropriate time. I want to say a quick thank you to my channel sponsors, the Annoying Midget, the DeadSec HQ, and Stupid Town. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video, guys.